Hey guys, it's Rabbit. I know I've been away for a while. Well, not away, but I haven't made a video for a while, mostly because I didn't really have there wasn't any tags or anything that I was really interested in doing. And I haven't really had much to talk about as far as dolls. I think the last doll that came in was Quentin, my Apple House pet doll, and since then I haven't really I've been kind of saving money and stuff, so I haven't really bought anything else except for today because I kind of made an impulsive buy because I did my finances and stuff like that and was like, oh, I can totally afford to do this, and I'll talk about that in a second. But other than that, I've kind of been saving money, um, mostly because for one, I had to pay my taxes because everybody else is like, yay, taxes, money for dolls, and I'm like, okay, now I need to pay my taxes because I file differently. So, anyway, financial crap. But anyway, my taxes really aren't that much, so that's cool. Um, and I'm also going to a doll show in March with my mom, who's also into dolls. She collects reborn dolls, as opposed to my ball jointed dolls. But we're both really into dolls, and we've been to the show a couple of times back. This has got to be like 8 or 9 years ago. It's the Puyallup Crossroads Doll and Teddy Bear Show. It's not specific to any kind of doll. There's antique dolls and one of a kind bears artists and stuff like that there, which I'm mostly into ball jointed dolls, but I love teddy bears and other miniature stuff. I'm mostly going for the miniature stuff because as you can see back here, I have these. There's actually three chairs back here. Um, they're all green too. I love green, but I've gotten all of these chairs secondhand and antique places, thrift stores, whatever. I have another couch over here that my Grammy actually found secondhand. So, and if you try to buy stuff like furniture for your dolls online, it's always so expensive because they charge you for the shipping and whatever. So I found that doll shows are really great for props and things like that. So even if I don't find anybody there that's into ball jointed dolls, um, there's always props and things like that. So, anyway, if you're gonna be there, totally comment below because I would love to meet up some other ball jointed doll people. Um, okay, after that, um, I bought uh River's head. River previously, I sold him because I wasn't really into his doll form. Previously he was a Ipplehouse, an old YID Ipplehouse, Ryoshin, sleeping head, and I was never really super into that sculpt. It's pretty and stuff, so I sold the head, and then he was on a Dalmore Atom body, which was really petite, and the neck is really really and it always was kind of like a bobble-headed hybrid to me, and the neck wasn't really quite long enough for so I always had to kind of fix the length situation, and it's just it just bothered me. I don't really like a lot of things about the Dalmore Atom body. It's just very petite, and it doesn't really I don't know. Some of it seems kind of disproportionate to me by my standards. So I sold that body and the head, and Charlotte right there is kind of pissed at me actually because that was her husband. So one of the things that I wanted to do was reshell River's character. He's also best friends with Silas. London's back there too, and he's kind of mad that I'm hiding him with my head. Sorry, London. But so I was looking for a sculpt for him, and he's Korean, so I wanted something that looked Asian. Um, something that I could at least make look Asian enough to fit the character. He's blind, but I didn't necessarily like the idea of him having closed eyes all the time. Because, I mean, like, blind people don't walk around with their eyes closed, so, I mean, he doesn't really have to have his eyes closed. Um, but I wanted something Asian. I didn't want something that big, so it had to be something that would be 60 to 63 centimeter range. So I was considering a couple of different sculpts. I really like the idea of making an elf doll Hazy into a male, because I actually like elf doll Hazy better as a male than a female. Um, but elf doll Hazy is kind of hard to get, especially just the head. So I think there's a couple places like the Doll Peddler. I think you can actually buy elf doll Hazy as a full doll, but then it's like that's a lot of money to buy a full doll and then have to like sell the girl body, and I didn't want to do that. So the elf doll Hazy head doesn't come up very often on the marketplace for sale by itself. I was also, what other sculpt was I considering? There's a couple of other sculpts that are just like really really kind of rare to come across. So I was like, okay, I want to find something that I like, that I can get, that I don't have to wait years for, because Charlotte is not incredibly patient. I mean, she's pretty patient, but I didn't want to put all my other doll plans before getting River again. Um, however, there's another doll that I gotta get too, because Sergil over there is waiting for a body for his guy. So, Alec is going to have a body too, which I actually have that one picked out. I think, I want to get the Charm Doll 71 centimeter body. I really like the aesthetic of that. The only thing I'm kind of worried about is the resin for Narin, the Narin head, is kind of it's really pinky. And it doesn't really match any of my other dolls, so I'm not really sure how that's gonna look with the Charm Doll resin. So we'll see if the resin match. If it doesn't match, that's not a big deal. I can always kind of blush the head a little bit to match the body. So, which means I would have to redo his face up, which kind of sucks because I like his face up right now, but it's not the end of the world. Um, I am totally rambling right now. I was like, oh, I don't have anything to talk about. Turns out I do. So anyway, the head that I got for River, I finally I found it on eBay, and it's through a company that I've never really like heard much about. It's called I don't know how to pronounce it. I think it's Kreuz doll. It's spelled Kreuz. And the sculpt has like, as it turns out, a few different names. Sao Saogetsu is one of them, and I don't know how to pronounce that again. Or Kangyu Moon is the one that it's under on eBay, where I bought it through Jiriyama. So it only comes in normal skin, which is awesome because I didn't really want him in white skin anyway, even though Charlotte's in white skin, but I wanted him to be normal skin. I don't think I'm ever really gonna buy any other white skin dolls, just these two, because they're kind of well, London has albinism, and Charlotte has certain traits of albinism. She's not like all albinism, but she has it, and she's really pale. Um, anyway, yeah, I bought that head. It's just Asian enough looking. Its eyes are like mostly closed, just little slits, and it's kind of smiling. Which I looked at the sculpt, and the first thing I thought was this could either be like a wicked looking demonic character, um, or it could be a very sweet, gentle looking character. And we're going for sweet and gentle here because River is not in any way an evil demonic person. So, but it has potential for that, which is interesting. So it's a very versatile sculpt. Um, I ordered that just this evening, and when it gets here, I will do a video. I think from what I've seen, it comes in this little wooden box, which looked really cool. There's not very many pictures of this sculpt, so I'm kind of excited to play with it and see what I can do with it. I'm not really sure on what body I want for it yet. I gotta find one similar to Hikaru's body and aesthetic, and his is a goo doll body. It's just really he doesn't have a ton of muscle tone. He's just really he's mature looking, but like he's a normal person that doesn't go to the gym like all the time. Because believe it or not, that's really hard to find bodies that aren't like super buff, or they have like a total six pack, and it's like okay, he's not sitting at home in his daily life, like doing, sit-ups and crunches and whatever. He's just a normal guy. So, other doll plans. 2017, I'm kind of feeling a little bit more, financial freedom. Um, I don't really know why, because it's not like I'm making a lot more money, but I kind of have my bills scheduled a certain way now to where it feels like I do have more money. So, I don't have a ton of other dolls that I want to buy, just because I'm at 13 and Alec, his head, which will be 14. So, like I said, I need to reshell River and Jen, Jensen is Alex's brother. He's been a Lutz Kid Delphori, which I decided I didn't really care for the MSD size, and I wanted to make him older, so he was then a Lutz Junior Delphterra, and I decided that I didn't like that head because it's too Lutzy for me. Lutz is not the company for me. Their dolls are awesome, don't get me wrong, but there are aesthetic issues. They are very stylized, which is like great if you're into stylized dolls, but my dolls, I've certainly been like traveling in more of a realistic, except for my Midgie doll, Yuri. He's actually probably one of the most stylized ones that I still have, but some of the newer ones that I've gotten they have smaller features. Their heads aren't like 9/10s. They're all either 8/9s or smaller. So, yeah, my aesthetics have kind of changed. So, I didn't really care for the way the Lutz Terra had like his eyes, like this part of his face was so wide. He just looked very, very strange next to my other dolls, especially his brother Alex, because, well, their characters really aren't supposed to look similar because they're actually half brothers, and Alex looks more like his dad, and Jem looks more like his mom, and they have different moms. So I didn't really want them to look like brothers, but I wanted them to look like humans next to each other, and for some reason, that head just looks like, oh my god, next to Alex's. He has almost like an MSD sized head. Soul Doll, I don't know if you guys know, but Soul Doll heads are pretty small. And I have these two back here, and Alex over there is, they're all Soul Doll old doubles. So, their heads, they actually wear like a 7/8 wig, so they can wear MSD sized wigs, all three of them. So if you're looking at, to buy Soul Dolls, just keep in mind that their heads are generally pretty small. Which, if you think about it, is more realistic in comparison to like their body proportions and stuff. So that's kind of cool. I've always loved Soul Doll. If I get a chance, I'll probably own another Soul Doll if it's not like humongous, because they don't really have a normal like 63 centimeter line anymore. So I might own a Soul Doll head if it's sold separately and put it on another body. But anyway, Soul Doll, one of my favorite companies. Awesome. Um, where was I? Let's see. Video is getting to be kind of long for not having anything to say. Oh, also, so Jen, I actually, I decided to get a Doll Zone Gray for him. I was gonna get a Dollmore, Theo, but, because he's single jointed, and I have, this doll back here, my, Limois doll is single jointed, and he is beautiful, and I will not get rid of him because I love him. but his single joints piss me off. Like his knees and everything, they don't pose very well. They get all like out of the joint and you gotta twist them around and match them back up. And I really want to avoid buying any more single jointed dolls. As far as I know, like thinking about it, the only ones that I have that are really single jointed, um, all the way through would be my Zolove and my Limois. So I love double joints and I like having them to be able to like put their arm up like this and not have it like smack them in the face and have their legs like all over the place. I would like to avoid that. So and also the Dalmore shipping, I don't know if you guys noticed, but when you go to like check out on Dalmore, if you're in the US, it's like $100. And I'm like, do I really want this doll bad enough to spend an extra $100 for the shipping? And then I was like, only if I can not find another sculpt that I like. So I'm getting a Doll Zone Gray for him because I recently watched a review of the Doll Zone, the newer Doll Zone 60 centimeter guy body, and it's like awesome. It has like these little silicone pieces in the elbow joints and the knee joints. It's beautiful. The gray sculpt I think resembles Jen's character as I originally saw him a little bit more. He's a nerd. So it's gonna be really fun to create. He's got these big, thick, black glasses and kind of like his hair is like swept to the side. He looks almost like, what do you want to call it? Like a hipster nerd. Not to stereotype here, but he like wears the plaid shirts and the glasses and has like gentleman hair. It's all like anyway, he's gonna be fun. So I hope to actually get Jen sometime this year. So after Alec's body and trying to find a body for River, which I'm gonna wait till his head gets here first. But yeah. So Doll Zone Gray. Look forward to seeing that from me because when I get him, I'll post videos. That'll be like probably, I don't know, sometime like late summer maybe. I really don't think I'll get him before that. Other plans, Ren is a girl character that I've had in mind to go with Lakota, who you can't actually see right now, but he's over on he's right here. You can kind of see part of his face there. But look, it's Lakota's mate. I say mate because they don't get married necessarily. He's kind of like a anyway. That I have plans for. I was gonna get a Tan Rosie from Supia, but I decided that the Hewen. I have no idea how to pronounce that. Actually, I like her better for the character, so I'm gonna get her in tan. Still debating whether I want to get the single joint body or the double joint body. I like the double joint posing better, but I like the aesthetic of the single joint. I still think I might pick the posing over the aesthetic, just because she's gonna be wearing clothing. So, there's also a company called Argonautical, that makes a doll called, it's either pronounced iFit or Ifit, and I absolutely love that girl. Like, it's really hard for me to find girl sculpts because I have, like, obviously, I have more boys than I have girls, but London's editor, Nina, is a lady that's, like, about 40 years old, and this doll is, like, her sculpt could work really well for like an older female character. And she has like super short, like pixie cut brown hair, and I really like the idea of working her into a doll. So that's kind of a debate whether I'm gonna get her or not. I'm kind of leaning towards it because I really like the idea of having a Nina. Other than that, those are like all the dolls that I'm adding to my collection that I have. That is it. Those, like, 4 dolls. So that puts me at, like, 16 total. Plus my dog. And I might get more pets if they have them. After that, one more thing. Silas back there, who's like one of my favorites, is on a really old doll family body, which the sculpting is so-so. They've done a lot better work recently. I modded his knee joints and I really screwed up the one knee, so I had to like epoxy it. And so he's got like gray epoxy on one knee that I haven't like blushed to match and whatever. I don't like his body and I think he deserves something better. So I'm going to get him a long sole 60 centimeter body in normal yellow because it says on the website that their normal yellow is kind of like Volk's, and Volk's is kind of like Midgie Doll, and he has a Midgie Doll head. So hopefully that will be a good hybrid. Also, my first doll, Suri, I'm going to do something really crazy and get her a new body, because I've never really cared for the old YID body. The boy one is okay, but the girl one is just the proportions, and the hands are kind of and I just don't. She's so long-legged and just unrealistic looking compared to my Zol and my Soul Doll girl, and she just doesn't. She's so much taller and disproportionate, and this body's not really shorter necessarily, but I think the proportions are better, and that's the long Soul. I think it might be Lung Soul. It has two O's in it, so it's probably Lung Soul, but the 58 centimeter body, I'm debating whether pink or yellow, because she's a pretty old heads, but I could always blush her to match. Anyway, so body renewals, those don't really count as new dolls necessarily, because they will be replacing, so yeah, 16. I told myself I wouldn't go over 20 complete, SD size dolls, so 2 of my dolls are Yo SD. We'll see. This shelf dresser back here fits quite a few dolls on it. And if I take the furniture away, they can all stand on it. So my goal is to have my entire collection still fit on this one dresser if they're all standing in a group shot. I actually have a shelf over here that goes this way, and then there's another one, so it's kind of like this L area. I would turn this, but there's like a huge light over here that's like glaringly bright, so I won't, but there's Noah and Suri over there, and then their little girls are sitting over here with Quentin, and Sergil is just out of the view there. Ben is my sister's doll. Ben right there. Ooh, sorry, Ben. Wee. And then all my other ones. So there's like 9 dolls sitting here. London. I'm sorry. Yeah. So I guess that covers my doll plans for this year, and it turns out I had like 23 minutes worth of stuff to. This is probably gonna be a really boring video, but if you watched it all the way through, yay, listen to my rambling. I'll try to make the next video more interesting and to the point and less rambling. But I just wanted you guys to know that I'm still here and I'm not dead. So, thank you for watching, and I will hopefully see you in the next video, maybe with some updates about if that head is shipped, and I don't know how long it's going to take to get here. It says like 30 to 40 business days, but you never really know. The date on the thing said like somewhere into April, so we'll see. But also, I'll let you know after I go to the doll show, I'll show you some of the stuff that I got. Oh, totally forgot. One more thing. Silas back here is holding a guitar, and I've been on the lookout for a good SD size guitar, which this is actually MSD size, so it's gonna have to do for now. But if you guys are interested in MSD, like quarter size scale guitars, what's it called? Something, wow, I can't remember now. I don't don't know. They're guitars on eBay, and there's something Axe Heaven. Sorry, woo. Axe Heaven sells these quarter scaled guitars, and they would be perfect for MSD scale. I have to warn you though, they don't really look the same as they do on the boxes. Um, they're not they're not as nice as they look on the boxes. They don't look bad, like they're not crappy, but I mean they're $25, so you really get what you pay for with those. But anyway, those are a cool little prop. So if you look up Axe Heaven, and they have ones that are like imitations of some of the, like they have one that's like a John Lennon one and stuff like that. So they do have some cool ones. This one is just the basic one. I'm gonna get them the cherry one too. But they come with a cute little like guitar stand that's actually got the little rubbery thing on it, and it sits like a realistic guitar stand, so that's pretty cool. Sorry. And Silas has a guitar now, which is not like the best. I would really love to have one of the guitars that Krabby Doll put out, but since they're not selling them anymore and nobody wants to part with one, they're really hard to come by. So, if anybody knows, like, one available, I would totally buy that. The acoustic one, either finish. I like the burnt one particularly, but, yeah, I would love to have one of those. It's like my ultimate prop right there is that Krabby Doll guitar. I wish I would have had the money to buy it when they came out, but, I really wish I would have. But maybe someday he'll have a Krabby Doll guitar or something that's similar. So if anybody knows anywhere to buy a 13-inch in length SD sized acoustic guitar, please let me know. But otherwise, these are pretty cool quarter scale ones. So yeah, that. Alright, now I'm gonna let you go. You guys are awesome. Thanks for watching. See you next time.